Savannah, I'm coming home, Savannah. We'll never be alone, Savannah. The beauty of the world.
The Open Studio.
Hey, what's going on, Twitch stream? How you guys doing tonight? Welcome to the Open Studio. We're here, right here on Twitch over at the Open Studio here every other Thursday at 9 o'clock. So thanks for coming to this one. Please come to more. If you like that intro song, that was made by Michael Gow. Check him out on SoundCloud, bubbawrap. So funny, so good. Like equally good at music and funny. If you like this dimension that I'm floating around in, if you like any other dimensions we float around in throughout the show, Jackiemantey did those. And, you know, we got Michael Gerrity and Stephanie Duffy in the booth directing and co-directing. So, yeah, we're doing a show, and it's going to be fun. Thank you guys for coming, hanging out. Like I said, follow us on Twitch. If you want to know when we go live, that's the easiest way. Follow us on Twitch. And if you're like, man, 2 weeks between shows, that seems kind of hefty. What else can I do to interact with cool art in between the time? You could join the Discord. Because at the Discord, whether you want to learn how to perform on this show, whether you want to just collaborate with artists in general, or whether you're just an art appreciator, literally we have it set up, and we're continuing to even like refine it where you kind of only get and interact with what you want. But it's really for anyone that wants to interact, go over to the Discord. And the links to pretty much everything I bring up is going to be in the description below, so check that out. You can find the Discord, you can find info about all performers tonight, and we got great performers. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good night. Definitely want to subscribe on Twitch. We got big stuff coming up. I just got a phone call that we are in the running. I believe we'll know for sure by the end of day tomorrow, so keep your eye out. Follow us on social media. I think the Open Studio is going to host the second presidential debate, so I will be moderating it. Check in on that. A promise I make to the American people, it will be more outrageous. They will physically fight. I will make sure it happens. We will not be doing drug testing. We'll be doing drug mandated. To get on that debate stage, you must do 6 index finger size rails of Adderall. That is the requirement. The first question, I'll be doing a series of questions. The first question I will give to Donald Trump will be, Beau Biden, hot or not? And he will say, decent body, not a great face. I'd give him a 6. And then they will battle physically. And I do have Joe Jurgensen to run in with a steel chair, but he's socially liberal, fiscally conservative, so I don't know who he's going to hit with it. You got to tune in to find out. So subscribe to the Twitch. All right, but real quick before I get into the rest of the show, this beautiful young woman behind me is Baja. I just wanted, because I do think the world's getting kind of crazy now. One of my favorite things to do in these crazy times, because you just can't live in it. You got to escape sometime and don't feel bad about it. I like to get high, take a 55-minute shower, and listen to 90s Polish neo-jazz songstress Baja for that full 45 to 50 minutes while I shower. It's very relaxing. I call it Dirtbag Spa. It's a lot of fun. If you've never heard Baja before, just type it in Spotify. Just listen to like the top songs they give you, just like the 10 hits. Put those on. You will love it. It's so it's beautiful music, and it is the most it's like the most consequence-free. There's no stakes to the music. My favorite song is literally about an amicable breakup where they agree to be friends at the end. There's no stakes. It's so fun. It's so relaxing. It mellows you out. The whole last bridge of the song is like, maybe we'll get into a better mental headspace and get back together even. Like, that's the song. It's so good. So get into some Baja. My mom used to listen to a lot of Baja when I was a kid. That's how I found out it even existed. So my mom sometimes watches the stream. Mom, if you're watching, thanks for introducing me to Baja. Also, if you're listening, I am not a drug addict. I smoke weed, but it is medicine. I have been a medical marijuana prescription holder for a little over 2 years now. So I'm not a drug user. I'm a patient. I saw a doctor who could not speak English and who worked out of a house in Wicker Park. So it's all fine. It's all legit. Isn't that what's funny now about society? I live a healthier lifestyle because I got medical advice from a guy who can't speak English working out of a house in Wicker Park. And if I would have went to $1 million hospital, I would have got prescribed opioids and I wouldn't be here right now. So that's a weird world we live in, but it's a great one. And we got a great show. We got Emily Knott coming up last. She's going to close us out with music. We love closing out with music, and you guys are really going to enjoy her. And we got Cocaine Murder Jam, a great sketch group. They're going to be showing some videos, and we'll be talking to one of the guys from the group. And the first thing we got coming up is Stand Up For You Guys by Aaron McDavis. Honestly, I think one of the best joke writers in Chicago. So I think this format, which is, I think it's hard to navigate as a stand-up, he will crush it. You will enjoy him as much as you would live. So that's tight. So thank you guys for tuning in. That's my little intro. So let's watch a little bit of a farce, and then let's get into the show. Thank you guys for tuning in. Remember to sound off in the chat. If you have a favorite Baja song, that would be insane, but let me know what it is. All right. Thank you, guys. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Bye.
They're not racist. But I bet if you were truly hateful, you could be racist with just your sense of hearing. Or your sense of smell, depending on the race. My favorite part of getting engaged was getting married to the woman I love. My second favorite part of getting engaged was seeing people I used to hook up with like the announcement post on Facebook. The ones that liked it may have been sincere, but the ones that hearted it were definitely being passive-aggressive. If earlier, when I said you could be racist just based off your sense of smell depending on the race, you got angry because you thought that statement itself was racist, I'm sorry. But frankly, you probably got mad because you thought I was being racist against a group of people that you imagined someone could pick out purely based on smell. Who's the racist now? Sometimes straight men will ask each other how much they would need to get paid in order to suck a dick. The bids often reach six figures or sometimes millions of dollars. I often wonder who they think would pay that much money for an inexperienced blowjob. To me, those prices seem high even for a skilled blowjob from a gay man. I think if those straight men were at a bar, sitting at a table, having this conversation, and at the same bar at another table, there was a group of sporting billionaires taking bets on how much it would take to turn out a straight man, these two groups could have a lot of fun together. Otherwise, this how much to suck a dick conversation will probably always remain a hypothetical, and the discussion around it will probably be the peak of fun had by the group of straight men. When you're getting a blowjob and the person giving it to you is inexperienced at giving blowjobs, it's usually not very physically pleasurable. Although, when you're getting a blowjob and the person giving it to you is very experienced at giving blowjobs, it can be very physically pleasurable, but it can be a little disconcerting when you imagine how many sexual partners that person has had to get that good at giving blowjobs. In 2020, if you're younger than 25, you've never called someone a homophobic slur. If you're over the age of 45, you still call people homophobic slurs. If you're between the ages of 25 and 45, you don't call people homophobic slurs, but you miss doing it every day. I think it's fine that we can't say certain words anymore. Society has to evolve, and our language evolving is part of that. However, whenever we decommission a word, we don't add a new word to the collective lexicon. I don't want to make another person feel marginalized, but I still need something to yell at people in traffic. In the end, I think getting an okay blowjob is probably the best mix of physical pleasure and mental reassurance that you can get. That's one thing I'm sure about.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you so much for tuning in. My mom is watching the stream, and I am her only child, so she is proud of me purely by default, and I appreciate it. So let's get into our first act. Like I said, this guy is truly hilarious. I think you'll have a great time watching him. So please give a virtual round of applause for the very funny Aaron McDavis, everybody, doing some stand up for you in our spoken word convention.
Hello, everybody. Hey, everybody. What's up? Thank you for having me here. I am Aaron McDavis. Last name McDavis. As you can tell, I am a good old Irish boy. That's why I like St. Patrick's Day. I get to wear my favorite T-shirts, kind of similar to the classic T-shirt, "Kiss Me, I'm Irish," but mine's a little bit more personal. Mine says, "Kiss me, the owner was Irish." Just yeah, just try to get your reparations any way you can, right? So I'm originally from the South. I grew up all around the South. I grew up in Nashville, Dallas, Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, all the no-no zones, right? I sometimes miss home, just especially like the food from the South. I grew up on a lot of soul food, a lot of like Southern cuisine, and this is the best compliment you can give anybody on their food, which when you say it was so good, make you want to smack your mama, which is hell of a compliment. Make you want to smack your mama. Yeah, like they're trying to say, hey, try these ribs. They'll turn you into your father. Yeah. Yeah. That's just the Southern tradition right there. I grew up in a very religious family. In fact, like the whole South is pretty religious, as everyone knows. It's part of the Bible Belt. I remember when I was back home one time, I was walking down the street. It was a Sunday, and this woman, she was smoking a cigarette. I guess she didn't like my frowny face, so she decided to say something about it. And she goes, "You should smile. It's the Lord's Day." Yeah, you should take the devil out your voice before you tell somebody that, right? Yeah. Yeah, you got to be the worst member in your choir, ma'am. You got to, yeah. Just back in the church, just like, I got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. People are like, yeah, Slayer. No, you don't do it for church. Yeah. Yeah. I when I moved up here, my mom, she likes to give me advice from the Bible, like every now and then, or as we call it, the good book. Like she's like, the good book says, bibbidi bobbidi boo. I haven't read in a while. But yeah, she. I remember last time she mentioned a story from the Bible about Jesus Christ waiting for, just sitting down, like meeting a group of people who were about to stone a woman for infidelity. Yeah, they were about to stone her, and he stopped them and said, "He who was without sin cast the first stone." Yeah, he who was without sin cast the first stone. It just sounds like Jesus Christ calling first dibs or chucking a rock at somebody, right? It's just like he got really excited about it. Like, what y'all doing? Oh, let me get up in line. He was they're like, no, stop, Jesus. You do this every time. Get in line like everybody else. I don't care who your father is. All right. Yeah. But I live in Chicago now. I moved to Chicago about like 6 years ago. I enjoy the city. What I really love about the city, it's a very like diverse city. You got all types of people here. You got white, black, Asian, Hispanic, Jewish, Muslim, Hindu. It's like throw a rock in any direction, and you'll commit a hate crime. You will 100% commit a hate crime. I don't suggest that. I'm just telling you what you can do. Yeah, I remember. I was walking down the street through Chicago. I tend to alert some people. I was trying to beat a red light when I was crossing the street. I run past this redhead. She freaks out, starts slapping at me, and I was like, "What the hell just happened?" And she goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were a mugger," and that infuriated me. I was like, "Lady, come on, look we're in public right now. The sun's out. It's like 3 p.m. Clearly, I'm off duty. Why would you wait till it gets dark, then get nervous, clutch your purse? Don't start me on my job early, okay?" All right. That's it for me. Thank you very much, guys.
Hell yeah. All right. Welcome to the guest dimension here with Aaron McDavis, who you just saw. So funny. I love that whole Irish chunk that you did up top is always some of my favorite stuff. I love that joke.
Thanks.
Aaron McDavis is not only a great comic, but also in these trying times, a frontline worker, right? You work at a grocery store, right? So you've had no time off.
No.
And you've had the COVID.
Quarantined.
You've had COVID and recovered, right? Like you've done the whole life cycle of life in America.
Yeah.
So like, what's like? All right, I gotta ask you a question. Like to me, if you're being rude to anybody in like a service like industry or customer service position at this point, you're insane. Like that's brutal. How are people at the grocery store in these times? Are they still shitty?
Okay, so the first part, like when this first started, I was treated more respectfully. Like I kind of felt like a vet because everybody was kind of like, "Thank you so much for what you're doing." Like I'm stocking cheese right now. I don't know, but okay, thank you.
Yeah.
But then as it progressed, I think everyone kind of went back to normal and just kind of like get the hell out the way right now.
It's nuts, dude. I like barely go out, but I had to return something. Like I had to make like an Amazon return, so I went to like the Kohl's. And I'm sitting in line because they do like Amazon returns. And the guy behind me was just like yelling, which first of all, you're yelling in line and this is nuts. But he's like trying to get a refund on like a Caesar salad and he's just being so rude about it. I'm like, come on, man. Like this is insane. Like no one's trying to hurt your feelings now. Everyone's just trying to survive, you know? It's just weird to be in the middle of a pandemic and be like, you know what? I think that Uber Eats guy was trying to pull something. You know, like I think he's putting something over on me.
Oh no. Oh, dude! Like this happened like a month ago. I had to actually somebody was stealing like a bunch of like meat and stuff, and then like the security stopped him. Security has like a gun in his holster. Dude like was wrestling the guy, and actually started like reaching for the gun holster. I had to like help the security guy like stop the guy. So I'm. Like I feel like I'm in the trenches a little bit.
Dude, it's nuts, man. Yeah, you are. Like, I mean, like, I'm kidding because this is a funny show, but also I'm like, it's lined with the seriousness of like your job. That's insane. You're doing what you're doing. I am generally like think you're the same as the nurse, like literally the same, and almost a troop for sure.
Well, see, I don't want to like I appreciate when people do like give her respect, but I don't want to be like okay, it's called essential worker for a reason. It's not called voluntary worker. So it's not like we're not there because we want to be right now. It's our job right now.
Yeah.
So and
it's still crazy because you could still just crazy, I don't know. It's just wild. And I guess like, do you guys still pretty much like are you at the point where now you're not really like running out of stuff? So it's not like that kind of craziness
now. Well, yeah, now it's a lot better and like getting our shipment in, but like like the first couple of months, like 2 or 3 months, it was like there was a lot of shortage. Like first time everybody was just buying stuff like it's Armageddon, so they're just like trying to stuff for their bunker. and now it's more like, okay, everyone's a little bit more calmed down, and we're getting our like shipment in. But now there's less people working in our store, so now the workload is doubled for everyone else. So we're just kind of.
But then I'm assuming that you clearly got a giant bump in pay. Obviously, that's how it would work. So, congratulations! I'm sure you're making probably close to 6 figures now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
I mean, everything's always fair in America, so that's the most important thing. You know.
Yeah. You see the studio apartment I'm in right now. Yeah. I am balling right now.
Well, the only other question I have, and I don't know if it's a huge problem in like Chicago, but like the only time I've been to like a Walmart twice, and just to do like I did like an order and pick up. And as I was walking out the second time I was there, I just saw this older guy walk in just with a napkin over his face, like holding it.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
And so it's like, have you had any like confrontations with masked people? Because I know they can be insane. I have a cousin who's one. Yeah. I'm sure she would easily take out someone at a grocery store. Got that mindset.
They've actually been they've been pretty calm about that. But they do like it does. We have people who like, all right, we'll just like do this, and then we'd be like, no, you gotta get a mask. So but like fortunately, like we have extra masks that we can just give to them, stuff like that. But then we do have people who are just like, I'm gonna get Kleenex and just like hold it up here. I'm like, you can't shop like that. Yeah. Yeah,
I would love to see these people's like condom protocol. Just like, I'm just gonna throw a little saran wrap on the balls. That should take care of it. I think we got
some aluminum foil on the tip. Yeah,
that's good. Well, Aaron, again, like these are just wild times. We're inside 2 boxes. Yeah. We haven't seen each other in months. So I just wanted to know about that shit because I think that shit's interesting. But for real, once things open back up, find out about this guy's comedy, find out where he's gonna be. I think he's one of the funniest people in Chicago. But I'm sure you got clips and stuff online. So even if you're watching from somewhere out of town, check out his stuff and check him out if he comes to your town. Aaron, thank you so much for doing the show, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
And you had a show in the before time, so also that who knows what's coming back, but like that show is every Thursday. So just follow him on social media and keep up with his stuff. He's great. So now we're gonna shoot over to the visual dimension. We're gonna watch a video from Cocaine Murder Jam, and then I'm gonna talk to one of the Cocaine Murder boys. So thank you guys for tuning in. Keep watching, hang out.
Folks, we're here with Roger Doxson, the man who tiptoed over a mile. Some people are referring to him as the tantalizing tiptoes man. Roger, do you have any words for the folks at home?
Well, my daughter died, and I miss her.
It always looks this great.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Jason's Home Cooking. Today we're going to be making a recipe for buttermilk cornbread. Come on, let's get started. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to preheat our oven to 375 degrees. Then I'm going to grease a 9-inch pan and set it off to the side. Okay, next I'm going to put a skillet over low heat on the stove. Inside that skillet, I'm going to go ahead and melt a stick of butter. Okay, once that butter is completely melted, I'm going to go ahead and add 2/3 cup of sugar, and I'm going to stir that in. Alright, with our sugar in place, I'm going to go ahead and quickly add 2 eggs and mix them in as well. Okay, off to the side, I have 1 cup of buttermilk combined with a half a teaspoon of baking soda. I'm going to go ahead and add that to our mix on the stove.
All right, now let's stir in 1 cup of flour and 1 cup of cornmeal.
All right, I'm going to let the viewer in on a little secret. This recipe used to be called Grandma's Buttermilk Cornbread. But once I add this diced jalapeno to the mix, you're going to see this is not your grandma's cornbread anymore. All that's left to do now is to spread this mix into our 9-inch grease pan that we already set aside at the beginning. Once we got it in there looking good, no lumps, we're going to go ahead and put that in our oven, and we're going to cook that for 30 minutes. All right, let's go ahead and put that beautiful cornbread in the oven. And I'm going to set the timer for 30 minutes. All right, let's take a look and see how it came out. Now, I'd like you all to tell me something. Would a victim of child abuse be able to do this? A victim of child abuse would never be able to do this. No way, Jose. That's kind of funny to think about a victim of child abuse trying to serve a piece of cornbread as beautiful as this. See that? Now take a look at this beautiful, perfect cornbread. Do you think a victim of child abuse could ever do that? You think a victim of child abuse could set up a perfect dinner like this? With pre-cut butter and a candle? I'm waiting. Thanks again for joining me in the kitchen. We'll see you next week.
I will be the greatest that you've ever seen before. Right, I'll say, eternal.
What's up, everybody? I'm taking over for Justin. Since
Hell yeah! Sorry, I went full uncle and had my mic muted when I came on. Sorry about that. But yeah, we're hanging out with Jason Melton from Cocaine Murder Jam, one of the 3 Cocaine Murder Boys, which I don't think is an official term. It's something I made up. But yeah, dude, that cornbread video. I know I've told you multiple times. It's not only my favorite video, but that cornbread always looks so good.
Yeah, that's the best cornbread I've ever made in my life. I just got super lucky.
Do you think you were just, I mean, maybe luck, but do you think you were just like playing with the pressure of the moment? Like you knew it was being filmed and you're just like a game time player?
Yeah, maybe.
Dude, one of my favorite sketches of yours that I've seen that you put out recently was like, it's basically like an ad for a private military contractor. And you're all like the dumbest people ever. And I think, and it's just this like really shoddily kind of made video.
Yeah,
I love that. I mean, literally, you guys. I know it came out recently, but you filmed it a while ago. So I mean, it's just funny you do something like that, and then probably like 6 months after you recorded it, those 40 people got busted trying to do a coup in Venezuela.
It was crazy because we found an advertisement on YouTube that was like for a company like that. They're like, you're a private military. You could hire us to be your military.
Right. It's insane. It's like, it's so wild. I remember it made me think of one of my favorite stories was, I think it was in the book Satiristas. It was David Cross talking about, it was a Mr. Show sketch, but it was never on the show. They would do it in their live shows that they toured during the shows. And it was a teacher teaching a prisoner, like just doing classes with him to try to get his IQ up high enough so they could execute him. His IQ was too low. And it was a sketch they did, and they did it for like a year. And then like one day he got like a call from Bob Odenkirk, and he was just like, "They're doing it." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "They're going to execute a mentally retarded guy in Texas." Like the world has caught up to our satire. Like we're just trying to make fun of like education versus imprisonment, and now they're actually executing mentally challenged people. It's insane. And, and that's what made me think of that is like
you know what I remember that story because the thing I took personally about it is the kid was just trying to do a wrestling move and they actually killed a girl.
Oh, and that's you mean the kid that they're going to execute?
So, yeah, the kid they executed, he had a issue with his brain, and then he tried to execute a wrestling move, which is cool. Who hasn't done that?
Who hasn't done that?
And now he's dead. He's dead now. I mean, so is the girl he did it on.
Yeah, it's so brutal. So that's why I just think it's funny just watching you just be dumb military police people, you know, for hire, and then literally like like less than a year after you probably recorded it, just like some guys that played rugby in college tried to do a coup on a country and got busted, and it's just like, yeah, that video is more real than you think. Like, there's a lot of guys who just like have a Planet Fitness membership that are also mercenaries.
It exists in the past and the future, and because nothing ever changes or gets better.
Dude, to be honest, that's what I missed. Honestly, if I could pick one person, and I promise I'm not blowing smoke, if I could pick one person that I miss talking to regularly in these times where we're more distance, it's definitely you, because you're probably, and I know it's just like a weird thing to say, you're probably the smartest person I know who is not really politically active. Like to have both those things. Like most people that I enjoy talking to, like only want to talk about who they're voting for president, which is like not important, but can we all, like the whole world exists. We can have like, you know, bright conversations about anything. I feel like you care about shit, but you don't like get wrapped up in like being like brain focused on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm thinking about, I got to vote for Trump because that's who my dad likes. And he's paying the bills. So what am I going to do? You know?
That's fair, man. I feel that. You know, Jackie makes more money than me. I would probably feel that old school 50s style housewife pressure to vote for who she was voting for. So if Jackie was pro Trump, I might have to also vote for Trump.
Yeah.
You got to vote for.
If I know your wife, she's definitely voting for Trump.
Yeah. I've met, you know Jackie, you know, she's big. She's a big MAGA person.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. We're both going to vote for Joe Jorgensen. Or who's the other one? Henry Howe, the Green Party guy.
I'm going to write in Bernie, dude. I'm actually going to vote for the bat that caused the coronavirus.
Oh, so that's why, Is that the bat that's behind you right now?
Yeah. Jim couldn't be here tonight, but he said, don't blame the Chinese for the virus. Blame the bats for being so delicious.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, what do you think is the weirdest thing we don't eat? I think the weirdest thing we don't eat is insects. Like everyone else eats insects besides us.
But I think we maybe put it in our ingredients.
I don't know.
Mixed in.
Everyone else is crushing insects, and I've looked into it, but I think I've been too like culturalized where it grosses me out on like a feelings level, even though I know there's nothing wrong with it and every other culture does it. I just can't do it.
I'm a vegetarian, so I don't even eat meat, but I might eat like bees.
Yeah, would you eat insects as a vegetarian?
No, but I love because it combines the thing about eating a living thing with also eating something gross, which I also hate.
Yeah, that's fair. You're like, if you're gonna break it, it's for something delicious.
Yeah.
What about like shrimp? That's pretty much just like an insect of the sea.
I honestly believe it's probably morally okay to eat shrimp, and I just don't because I don't want to flip, you know?
Hell yeah. I wish we had 85 more minutes to get into the shrimp discussion alone. Like I said, this is honestly like no bullshit. This is why I miss hanging out with you in the before times. But dude, Jason Melton, you're so funny, man. Jason also does stand-up, so see him do stand-up when this is all over or during it. You said you're going to be at Zany's soon, right?
Yeah, he does.
Like a half-capacity show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so check Jason out. Dude, and this is another thing. Always like it's general, like, oh, follow Twitter. Dude, Cocaine Murder Jam's Twitter is one of the funniest Twitters. And I follow accounts with like, 100,000 people and stuff, like the big funny accounts. They're just as funny, if not funnier. They're one of the funniest Twitter accounts. So,
and we have,
check out the videos.
and we have only 300 followers. So if
It's
you add
crazy. It's some of the funniest stuff. And it's like a unique voice, unique style. So
if
Twitter,
you add us, we'll read it. Unlike those other guys, we'll see your ads.
yeah, you can actually. They're not big yet. You can see them while they're at their. You can see Nirvana at the small Seattle club, essentially. So yeah, CMJ69420, best Twitter account, I think. So follow that. And obviously they're on all the other stuff if you want to see their videos, which are all hilarious. And Jason does stand up and all that stuff. So that's great. So thank you, Jason, for hanging. Thanks for bringing those vids. You're the best. And we got one more act. We're going to close out with some music. So let's switch over to the music dimension and let's hear a little bit of music from Emily Nutt. Thank you, guys.
Autumn always brings them to the skies, calling out their frequent exclamations as they fly. They cry, it's time to go home. It's time to go home. It's time to go home. Time to go. Autumn always brings them to their dens, warm in every woolen, waiting for the winter's end. They whisper, this place feels like home. This place feels like home. They whisper, this place feels like home. Feels like home. Charts are etched in every feather, every bone, digging down, flying south, going home. Maps are etched in every feather, every bone, digging down, flying south, going home. Going home. Caught a flight from Denver yesterday. For a moment I forgot you were 1,000 miles away, and now it's quiet in my home. Quiet in my home. And now it's quiet in my home. In my home. Autumn always brings them to my side. A little fleet of shadows that the sunlight often hides. They speak a tongue I barely comprehend. Their presence is a message I have grown to understand. They whisper, this time's like the last time. This time's like the last time. They whisper, this time's like the last time. just like last time. Just like last time. I know it's just like last time. Please hurry home, hurry home. It's hard for me to know I need you, but I know. Please hurry home, hurry home. It's hard for me to know I need you, but I need you. Oh, I need you. Autumn always brings us back again. It echoes in the courtyards of the places we have been. My garden fills with snow. My garden fills with snow. And now my garden fills with snow. But in the spring I know new life grows.
Emily, so great. Everyone sounded off in the chat. Everyone loved it. Such a great
Thanks
voice,
so
such
much.
a great song.
It's wonderful to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Thanks for playing music for us, man. I think we could all use those tunes. It feels really good.
Me
Good
too.
vibes.
Me too. I miss it. It's good to be
Yeah,
here for that
man.
reason.
And the thing I'll say also, just real quick, is great setup. I've noticed something doing this. This is our third show now. All the musicians we have on always have some sort of nice tapestry on the wall, maybe like a houseplant, a couch that clearly has like some sort of thought put into it, which is great. You have all three.
It's
Whereas
in the
most
fine print.
comics,
If you take your first music lesson, you have to buy a tapestry. You
hell
have to
yeah.
sign off.
Well, and it works. They had to know this was coming because it works. And it feels like every comic we have on is broadcasting off a flip phone from the halfway house they're staying at. And I just, it's a fun distinction, but I appreciate your setup. I don't know if the rest of your house is chaos, but what I'm seeing looks amazing. So thanks for sharing it with us.
Thanks, Justin. I appreciate that.
We
spend a lot of time here right now. Like we all have to spend so much time at home. So I've been mad decorating.
Dude, so is the tapestry new, or you've had that for a minute?
Tapestry's been around, but the couch is pretty new. I was
couch
like, you know
is
what?
Great.
That tapestry could use a couch.
Yeah, for sure. It was weird when you were just sleeping on a yoga mat underneath it. It didn't seem like it fit, but I think it works now. I think mustard is an underrated color.
I have to wholeheartedly agree with you. I think
Yes.
mustard is just, it sings. It just sings. And it doesn't get any love. We just put it on our hot dogs and forget it.
Yeah, dude, that should be a bumper sticker. I don't know, for like a pro color mustard campaign. I don't know, but it would get me on board. Yeah, is it what do you miss? What do you miss about performing live? Like, what's the thing you miss the most?
What don't I miss about performing? I think the thing I miss most is playing with people. I used to play with this group, Old Lazarus Harp, and we had a Tuesday night, second and fourth Tuesday night residency at the Innertown Pub, which was just all of these screeching fiddles and joyful noises just clustered into the back of the Innertown Pub. And I just miss that kind of vibrant joy that happens when you get a bunch of people just around each other making sounds.
It is weird, man. And like, just to give a quick plug, like, yeah, sign up for the Discord if you want. It's in the description, anyone watching. But that's kind of like, I mean, we're trying to do this show to have like a show in the space where there's no shows, but the general concept of having the Discord and everything to go along with the show is like literally everyone I talk to, no matter what medium, is always like, yeah, I miss the hang, or I miss collaborating. Like, yeah, I miss the show. I miss performing for sure. Like, that's why I do it. But it's everything you get with the show that's what you miss. Like, you miss the whole experience, from like showing up early, shooting the shit, to like afterwards meeting new people and being, oh, I liked your stuff. What do you do? Blah, blah, blah. You know, like that's the good stuff.
Music is people. People is music. Music is a way that we love each other. I mean,
Yeah.
for me, that's what it boils down to, and that's what I miss.
Dude, this quarantine has got me very into vibes. I was, now in fairness, I was on a very heavy edible, but I was watching the debate on Tuesday, and I felt like physically negative. Like, I felt bad energy. Like, that debate, for all the bad it was, it made me believe in Reiki, because I'm like, I do feel warm and no one's touching me. Like, this is nuts. So I do think there's probably better, like, we're probably, I mean, dude, I'm gonna sound like a Marianne Williamson supporter, but I think we have like a vibe crisis in this country with all the other tangible stuff. Like, no one's able to create together and touch each other and be friends and be like, hey, I like your shirt. No one told me they've liked my shirt in 8 months or whatever, how long it's been.
You just said it. You said something really important, which we're all grieving those little things, and we have to let ourselves do that. We have to give ourselves space for that. So those are small griefs, but they're griefs.
For sure. And it's like, and again, like if it's a week, 2 weeks, a month, you can weather it, but it just, it like calcifies and builds up. And so we're like months in. So I don't know, Emily, if I could do anything for you today, I would just like to send off by saying, Emily, I love that shirt. That's a great shirt.
Why, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sound off by saying, come hang out with me on the patio of the Beat Kitchen this Saturday from 11 to 2, or on Monday in Palmer Park with Magical Beasts. I'll be singing some songs with them then Monday. So you can follow my stuff to find that. But the reason you just said, that's why we need more things like this. So thank you to you all for putting this on.
Yeah, dude, catch Emily's vibes in person for sure. And yeah, I've been like, because all I really have is like occasional outside on my patio time. So I'm always hip on the weather more than I've ever been. So yeah, I feel like those dates you named, we got some good, like crisp but still sunny days coming up in fall. So go out, check Emily out outside, be safe, get some vibes, have fun. Thank you, Emily, very much for doing the show. She's our last guest, so give a big old virtual round of applause for everyone you saw, including Emily. And make sure, like, check them out. In the description, they have links to all their stuff. So if you're like, wait, where did Emily say she was going to be? I'm sure she has it listed somewhere on the social media. So follow her, go to her website, whatever she has listed, go to it. And then come on, even if it wasn't there, give her a Google. Come on, you got this. Follow these people, support them during these times. Let's try to get vibes going as hard as we can with the resources we have. I just want to shout out again everyone that performed on the show. I want to say thank you everyone that tuned in. If you're new to the channel, give it a follow. We're here every other Thursday. And we wanted, that's like our, what do you want to call our skeleton lineup? So we've already talked about adding new shows, adding new stream things. So, I mean, honestly, follow us. That's the easiest way. You get a notification when we're going live, all that stuff. But as I mentioned when talking to Emily, go to the Discord. Hang out in the downtime, in the after times, in the before times. Let's get the hang going, and then just, I guess, one more time to Stephanie Duffy and Michael Gerrity doing the directing for the show. That's why it looks so good, and it makes me happy to perform in a pro space, even if it is on the ones and zeros. I miss performing live as well, but this has been a lot of fun. So come back in a couple weeks. Otherwise, go to the Discord now. We'll be hanging out after the show. Probably somebody will. So go hang out now, test it out. Otherwise, keep sounding off in the chat for as long as the stream is live. But thank you guys for coming out. We'll see you soon. Have a good one, everybody.